Hello everyone, so this is Pseychie, and this will be the first time I'm doing something like this, but they just announced update 35, they're calling it The End is Near. It is in the alpha stages, and we're gonna kind of do like a reaction to this live. Well, this is not technically live, but I'm recording it live as opposed to in my usual setup. I have the Steam page pulled up here right now, so we're gonna go through this piece by piece. I haven't actually seen any of the updates in detail. I do know that they plan to do something with like the curses. So something with like the curse mechanic where you die in one hit. Afterwards, we might take a look at some of them in-game, but they probably will have like gifts like this one where you can kind of get a feel for the weapons. So let's take a look. It's going to have... It says, in this update, we've expanded on one of the most iconic mechanics of Dead Cells. The Curse, with 3 new weapons, 3 new monsters, and of course 3 new mutations. And it does look like they are addressing that, you know, the instant death mechanic of curses can be pretty threatening. So I don't know how much they're going to add to this. Alright, let's take a look at the new weapons. I might put some footage of these weapons in the background because I do have access to the alpha patch. The first one is called Anathema. Rip a mushroom boy's heart out to fire a heavy indirect projectile dealing AoE damage. However, you will get cursed if your attack hits anything. I mean, in the GIF, they're kind of showcasing that you can actually hit things that's like one platform above you, and the AoE is very, very big. The only thing is that it states that you get cursed whenever you hit something, not whenever you kill something. So like, if you hit something like 5 times, and it dies in 5 hits, then it's kind of bad because you're getting cursed 5 times over. But from the looks of it, you actually get cursed for 2... I mean, this is kind of weird. Like, first impression, this is pretty weird to me because if you like, because you have to make up for the curses that you build up, so you have to kill things. But the thing is, if you damage something, you actually get 2. You get cursed for 2. So in order to like stabilize yourself, I want to say, you either have to not use this weapon and use something else, or you kill multiple things with the same hit. So I think it really depends on how much damage this is gonna do. But this is an interesting avenue that I didn't see the game taking part in. Next up we have Indulgence. Calls down a ray of vengeful light on the nearest enemy dealing critical damage if you are not cursed. Targets killed by the ray purges you of 3 stacks of curse instead of 1. Fires 1 additional ray per 5 stacks of curse you have. And the max is 5 per cast. I don't believe this one has a GIF to kind of showcase it, so I might have to show some of this in the game. But I guess like this kind of has synergy with Anathema, because this one is purging you of 3 stacks of curses if you kill targets by it. And like right off the bat, I can see how you could use this as like a tech weapon where you just put it in your backpack, and then when you're about to take a curse, you just pull it out. And then you lift the curse really fast. So I think this is pretty interesting. Last weapon is called Misericorde. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Inflicts crits if the victim has less than 50% HP, and it curses you if the attack doesn't kill its target. So in the GIF they're showing here, it seems like it is going to curse you like 1 tick per attack that you don't kill off the enemy with. So like this archer here, he's taking 3 hits to die, so you're actually taking on 3 points of curse, while technically 1 gets lifted, so the curse count only increases by 1, because it goes from 22 to 23, 24, but then instead of going to 25, it kills the enemy and it lifts the curse. So I can see this as like a support weapon, just like from my first impressions. I think you could like soften up the enemy, and then you just hit this as like a finishing blow, but it's not... It doesn't strike me as the weapon that it's going to hit hard in 1 attack. It does seem like it has like 3 attacks in its chain. So I'm probably going to hop on the game later and we're going to take a look at these weapons. The 3 new mobs, the first one is called Sore Loser. Is a monster that can't hurt you but is super annoying. Always tries to stay close to you and dash through you. And when you kill it, you get cursed 3 times. Oh, okay, so you actually don't want to kill this. Well, I think like maybe you're gonna accidentally kill it. I think that's definitely possible. I don't see like a GIF of this enemy, so... And I don't know like which biomes they are going to appear in. Oh, actually here at the bottom it says, these mobs don't have a specific biome, but they will have a small chance of appearing in any biome after 2 BC. For the moment, these 3 mobs will be tuned specifically for the alpha, so they will guarantee to spawn in the prisoner's quarters on 4 BC and up. The other 2 are called the Doombringer. Every melee attack from it does not cause damage, but will apply 1 stack of curse and stun you. And you will instantly die if you already have 50 stacks of curse. So all the more reasons not to break the Hunter's Grenade doors in the prisoner's quarters, right? And lastly, we have the Cursor. It launches a slow homing missile that can go through walls. If you accidentally get caught in it, you take damage and 5 stacks of curse. And if you get close to it, you also get hit by a melee attack. And this one does have a GIF animation. I'm not sure if the 5 stacks of curse only applies with the projectile, or like if he hits you with a staff, you also get hit for 5 points of curse, because that would be pretty annoying. Let's take a look at the 3 new mutations, and it looks like they are all colorless by the indicator here. The first one is called Cursed Flask. Your health flask has infinite charges, but will curse you 20 times each you use it. Now, I'm not sure right off the bat, like, does it curse you every time you use it, or does it only curse you when you have like 0 charges left? Because I'm not sure like under what circumstances I'm ever going to use this. I don't know. I mean, being cursed is more threatening than you think, right? There's a reason why you want to kind of pick out your curses. The second mutation, Damned Vigor. Upon being dealt fatal damage, you stay alive at 1 HP for 2 seconds. If you kill any enemy while this is in effect, you will be saved. Otherwise, the effect disappears, or you get hit while under it, you instantly die without any sort of protection. I'm not sure if there's like a cooldown with this. So like if you take fatal damage and you just keep killing things, do you just like infinitely get to stay alive? Or is there like a cooldown or a number of times this can trigger? But it does seem like it is going to be balanced by the fact that if you don't hit anything for 2 seconds, or you get hit again while under this state, you just die. Obviously, I can see this being useful in biomes, but probably not so much in bosses, unless you're so confident you can kill the boss in 2 seconds. Last but not least, Demonic Strength. Damage increased by 30% if you are cursed. The bonus is increased by 1% per stack that you have. Cursed Sword counts as 1 stack, but you can still stack curses on top of it. So I'm assuming you get a flat 30% damage boost if you have this mutation and you are cursed, and then for every stack of curse you have, it counts as 1 additional percentage. So I mean, I have to test this out in the game, but I'm assuming if you take a curse chest, you get cursed for 10 points of curse. This will equate to 40% damage increase, because it gives you the flat 30 when you are cursed, and then you get cursed for 10 points, so 10% per curse stack. So 1% per curse stack, which equals to 10. Add them up, it gives you 40. I'm assuming this is how it works. Next up, so this is their usual round of new legendary affixes. I might just skim through these and kind of chime in if I see anything interesting. I'm noticing with the Flawless, if you kill an enemy within 1 second of getting hit, you still get to keep the crit state, so that one is pretty nice. The Emergency Door one is quite interesting. The door can't be destroyed by enemies, except for bosses. You can probably do some weird strategies with that. Next up, some miscellaneous balances. The bank is slightly easier in 2, 4, and 5 BC. I'm not sure why it's specifically 2, 4, and 5, but I guess that's pretty interesting. The Bone projectile from the Castlevania DLC does less damage. I think this is much needed. They did way too much damage in the early game. I really think it should have been toned down, so I'm really glad that this is being addressed. And let's talk about this for a second. Not even pretty much, in all of the games that I play that have some kind of like new content, you always get like a split fan base where half of it is gonna say, yeah, the new content is perfectly balanced. You just need to get good at the game. It's obviously a skill issue. And the other half is gonna say, I think this new update is a little bit too overtuned. The new enemies do way too much damage. I think it needs to be brought down a little bit. Like, this happens with every single game that I play. But I do think that this is a good change with the bone projectiles doing way too much damage. So, more cosmetic changes. You can attach more than just a bobby head onto your preferred skin. and then this one has like the timekeeper head on top, so I thought that was pretty cool. You can also have the queen head, and from the looks of it, this gift actually has like a lot of unlockables, so you can probably roleplay as like a lot of different versions of the beheaded with this. New routing. I thought this was quite interesting. I saw a glimpse of this when I was still in bed this morning. But now you can access the Castlevania areas with a lot more flexibility. So first off, you can fight Dracula if you're in High Peak Castle. You can go to the Corrupted Prison and the Ossuary from the castle outskirts. You can go to the first version of Dracula's castle from Corrupted Prison or Toxic Sewers. You can fight Concierge in from Dracula's castle for some reason. You can fight Death from Ossuary. I think this one's really nice because Ossuary traditionally have only led to Concierge, which is one of the main reasons why people don't go there. So this does give you a lot more options. Replace the exit to Fractured Shrines in Defiled Necropolis by an exit to Graveyards. So I believe this means if you fought Death, you could access Stilt Village, Fractured Shrines, and Slumbering Sanctuary, but now it seems like you can't go to Fractured Shrines. Instead, it leads to the Graveyard instead. Added a light source in the Mimic Hint lore room when it spawns in the Forgotten Sepulchre. I think I saw some people talk about this. It's basically like a way for you to tell if a Mimic is going to appear in the shop. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm pretty interested to actually find out for myself. Added an exit to the late game of Dracula's Castle in Mausoleum, Guardian's Haven, or Clock Room. So any of the second bosses will now be able to route to Dracula as the final boss. So very, very nice. And yes, I know someone stated this in the community post. You can also now go to both Castlevania biomes in one run. So you can fight both Death as well as Dracula. Though there is going to be some overlap because you're going into Dracula's castle twice. But I think this is nice. I think they should have added this like a long time ago. A major drawback of the Castlevania DLC is that it just felt really restrictive of how and when you could access the new biomes. So I really like these changes. And then there's also some accessibility options. I'm really surprised they didn't do anything with the curses, given that this update seems to have a really big focus on the curse mechanic. But I guess these are there for those that want it. Alright guys, so we are now in the alpha branch of the game, so let's take a look at what is new. I think the best way to do this is probably to go down into the custom options. So this one is Misericorde. I probably will never be able to pronounce this correctly. And then Anathema. I'm surprised Mushroom Boy is nowhere in this, because it does like interact with Mushroom Boy in some way. This one, it looks like, is Tactics Survival, and I forgot to show this. This one is Brutality and Tactics. And I think there should be one more item, I think. Yeah, here we go, Indulgence. So this was the one that didn't have a GIF showing what it does. So this is a skill that is Brutality Survival. And let's take a look at the new curse mutations. Wow, these the icons look really menacing, by the way. First we have Curse Flask. This one curses you for 20 every time you use your flask, but it's infinite. Damned Vigor. This one is where you stay alive after taking fatal damage. And then Demon Strength. You are stronger when you are cursed. And I know this is only the alpha branch, but I'm really surprised that they don't actually have all the heads unlocked. I'm not sure if they will be after like the beta and the official versions, or if they just only have like these 5, because I don't see an unlock method for the rest of these, so I don't know if these are implemented yet. But I think what makes the most sense is that we go into custom mode, and we take a stroll into the training room, and I think what we're going to do after that is we're going to start a run and try to use one of the weapons and see how it works. Alright, so we have our good friend, the zombie here. If we hit them with Misericorde, I'm assuming I'm going to get cursed here. Okay, 2 curses, and this gives me back to 1 because I killed it. So this one's pretty interesting. So if I'm cursed, and let's try using Indulgence now. So if I kill this thing with Indulgence, it will purge me of the curse. Well, actually, let's try getting 1 more stack. So I have 2 curse stacks. And if I use Indulgence... I see, okay. It kind of calls down like a ray of light, kind of like in the Dark Souls Praise the Sun meme. And let's see, the cooldown's only 10 seconds. That is really good. Alright, let's try using Anathema now. So if it hits the enemy, I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get cursed for 3, was it only 2? Oh, on the tooltip it says 3 times, but it looks like I only got 2 points of curse. That's interesting. But even then, I think Indulgence, like, you don't even need to be cursed because it does critical damage if you're not. So there's like a backup plan for it, and I think among all of the 3 weapons, I feel like Indulgence is the one that's just the most, I guess, flexible. Because you don't need to be cursed for it to be good, and if you're cursed, it gets only better. The other ones have some sort of drawback. I think what would make the most sense with Misericorde. So there's one more interaction I wanted to test out. This is something I was curious about when I was looking at the patch notes. But let's assume I take a damned vigor. When it says upon taking fatal damage, does it mean fatal damage from reaching 0 health? Or does this also work if you die from a curse? So I want to take a look at this. Alright, so we get curse for 2. So if we take fatal damage from the curse, do I get to still revive myself? Let's take a look. Okay, I guess the answer is no. Okay, I just thought that was pretty interesting because it said upon taking fatal damage. And that attack there was certainly fatal. Alright, so for the last portion of this video, I want to try out using one of the new weapons. So we're using Misericorde. This is the one where it accumulates curses every time you don't kill an enemy. So it's good if you actually kill something, but not so good if you don't. I mean, from the looks of it, you can kind of break even. Like, if you kill something in 2 hits, you do break even. So for those rats, you can kill them in 1 hit, and like, if you kill enough rats, you can kind of break even, as you saw there. But you know, with I see a brand new enemy down there. I'm gonna go check that out in a sec. All right, so I'm not sure which enemy that is. Well, I guess we'll take a look, right? Ah, okay. Oh, is that the one that like flies around? So if you kill it, you get cursed, right? Oh, okay, so there's a mage guy down there. So that guy is the one that spawns a projectile, and if it hits you, you take damage, and then you also get cursed. I'm assuming that's how it works. Maybe we can kind of would kindly shoot one, but I guess that's not the case. So this guy, does it like hit you? Okay, so it's just there to like push you around and annoy you. It doesn't do any damage, but if you kill it, you get cursed for 5 points. And I think like it's not gonna leave you alone or something. Okay, so that's alright. Well, that was that was quick. Okay, I'm not sure how to feel about like the curse mechanic being the focus. Depending on how often these enemies are inserted into the run, if they curse you, like if you get cursed very frequently, this could be very, very threatening. But I think this is also a good chance for, I guess, like the meta game to shake up. But you can see like just how fast things can go wrong. Like last run, I didn't even know I was gonna die because I was just cursed out of the blue, and if you get hit once, you're dead. But I will say this is a really interesting way for the game to approach. Because the monsters, it's not just going to affect the way you play. It's also going to affect how you see the game world in general. If the curse mechanic is going to be a lot more pronounced. So yeah, this is gonna be the end for this quick alpha preview video. Let me know what you think of the changes in the comments. I'd love to know what people think of this. So thank you for watching. I probably will have a new video out that is coming out tomorrow or the day after. It's gonna be a small little surprise. Once again, looking forward to this update. The last one we had was like 4 months ago. So take care, and always remember, have fun with the game.